Hi guys, welcome to another episode. On this week's episode, we're talking about what is very dear to me. I call it the Watt family. It has 3 siblings, and then throughout the video, I'm going to be discussing the Watt family. I touched a little bit on the last video, but on this video, I decided to actually expand on it and give you the detail on it. But stay tuned for the rest of the video to get the detail on the Watt family. This week I have an exciting topic. The Watt family has been very important to me. For a bit of a story, I got introduced to the Watt family by a colleague of mine. He just got an MBA, and I think he was introduced with this methodology throughout his studies. And I later researched the methodology, then I found out actually it is a self-reflective model that is out there. It's actually used for a group of people to come together and reflect on whatever they are doing. It's called the what, so what, now what model. What, so what, now what model. It's like the 3 little things that I normally put as my thinking cap to say, what's the 3 saying to me? If they're saying something quite nicely, then I know I can proceed. If through my thinking cap I don't get any positive feedback, I know what I'm doing is not gonna yield any value to somebody else. Okay, so before I go on, I had to put on the screen here to make sure that I just don't make up the things. So the model was developed in 2001 by Rolfe and others. Hope I said that quite well. And it is also attributed to Henry Lipmawisk and Keith McCandles. I hope I said that quite well. And the 2 are the creators of liberating structures. The model is split into 3 things. The first thing that I have to do is to ask myself, what is it that I'm doing? I said, I'm gonna go back to my first video on procrastination. Ulerato came to me and could hear me talk all the time about what am I doing, all these people asking me questions. And what she did is she came to me and she told me what was the problem. The problem is I've identified that you keep on talking to the same people about the same thing. That is the what situation. And on the model, it says, the what is understanding the event. I normally use this in my analysis when Zach comes over to me and says, can I understand what happened in depreciation? I'm going to say, for instance, because I know what the situation is. It's depreciation. I have to actually zoom in and then talk about depreciation. The next step, which is the second sibling, it says, when you move to the so what, you have to make sense of the facts and the implications. So in this case, I have to say, what makes depreciation? Depreciation is assets that we hold, and it means if there's a problem with depreciation, it's either we have bought new assets. If we haven't, maybe it might be because some assets that we thought we were gonna use for 10 years, we end up using for 5 years, then it means that depreciation has to go up. So whatever the issue is on the what, the so what will be guided accordingly. In my case, when I started the video series, I realized what was the problem, and we sat down with Orerat, helped me go through all the other things that we could do. Now that she identified what the problem is, the thing was, maybe you could actually write some articles for people to go in, maybe you could do this, but we ended up with making a video series, which is now that you're watching it. The last sibling, the third of the king, is the now what, or the then what. Now that you know what the problem is, and through the model, it says this is identifying the course of action or a new solution. In this case, on the video series, I knew exactly what the solution was going to be. We're delivering 3 offerings for 3 different people. One will be a video type of series, which is like this one, quite highly summarized. Second one will be a blog type of thing for people that just like to read a little bit. And the third one will be a detailed article for people that really wants to go deep into a thing. I mean, people that will like, thorough readings like I'm reading over here. That was the solution that I came up with. How do I apply it in the depreciation story that I spoke about? Only then do I come up with the solution to say, I think the solution is because all of our assets, we've been depreciating it over 10 years. I think we have to comply with maybe IFRS 3 or IFRS whatever. It doesn't always have to be like that, but in your field, whatever you have to decide on, whether it's buying new pairs of shoes What is the issue? You need a new pair of shoes, you don't have a blue pair to go with your blue tux. What is the issue? What's the solution? I have so many brands to go with. So what? I got so many brands to go with. I don't know which one to go to. I got so many shops to go to. I don't know which one to go to. The then what or the now what will be, I'm going to the online store to buy my size 9 or my size 10 pair of blue shoes to go with my tux, or I'm going to visit my local boutique to get my pair of shoes. As simple as it might be, but most of my write-up are normally structured into the 3 things. The funny thing is, even when I did my thesis, my dissertation, it was also structured accordingly using those 3 things. The first, I identified what the problem was. I think it's under problem identification. As I said, problem identification, and in brackets I said what. And then when I got to literature review, I called it the so what. And I said, I went through all of this literature review. And then when I got to my chapter 5, which is where the solution comes in, and I put it as a then what. That's where I gave my recommendation to say, given what I have discussed or analyzed on chapter 4, where the mathematics and all the models were, I am recommending this. And then that was just my thesis, just like that. But I'm telling you this because the what, so what, and then what model is quite important for my simple decision-making process. And I hope you could use it the same way for your decision-making process. And then we can prosper together, make better decisions together. Thank you for watching this video till the next one. Next one we'll be talking about what happens when you get things wrong. Do you say I'm sorry, or you just say I'm gonna go on? Vulnerability is the biggest part of things, and I managed to work around vulnerability, and I'm hoping that you will get through vulnerability. Until next time, thank you for watching.